What's good, it's Nuvo. We're back again for another video today. What the hell? Oh yeah, we're back again. Sorry if I heard the noise. There's a lot of noise outside. Today, I'm gonna be showing you guys how to mix your beats. It's gonna be a trap beat today because I'm not a drill producer, I'm a trap producer. So I'm gonna show you guys how to mix a trap beat. But first things first, I had to munch, get me. My little Popeyes, get me. Popeyes. Got my little drink right here. Pretzels, get me. Got some pretzels on deck, man. If you ain't got these, you're lacking. I like you. But yeah, after I'm done eating those, I'm gonna get right to showing you guys how to mix your beats. Stay in touch.
2 seconds later.
Cool, so now I'm done eating. Get my drink, my pretzels. I'm gonna make a beat real quick. Focus. I'm gonna make a beat real quick. Then I'm gonna go through step by step on how to mix the beat. You guys will hear the difference with how it sounds before and after. So yeah, stay tuned. What's good? We're back. The beat is done. Made something minor. I use a loop by Davenport X Faz. Yeah, so just for tutorial purposes, I use this loop just so I can make a quick beat. Show you guys how to mix a beat. So without further ado, this is the beat. That's the beat. You guys might think, yeah, it sounds calm, it sounds good, it sounds bassy, punchy, stuff like that. But nah, to be very honest, it sounds very just clustered together. It doesn't sound, spacious and mixed and just, balanced out. That's why we're here today, to fix that issue. What I always start with is with a sample. Or before I do anything, with these channels racks here, what I do is I highlight everything and then Control L or Command L for Mac. But what that does is automatically puts them into a channel here. So when you mix them and stuff, it'll be easier to mix them. Yeah. But yeah, with the sample, all I done was dip out some frequencies that were quite harsh. So some parts that were just too prominent in the mix, so that once I add an 808 or a hi-hat, that it would sound more well put together. Oh crap, it's gonna start filming. We should be good now. Anyways, so for the sample, yeah, I did the EQ, then I did another one to duck out all the bass in the sample, so that when I did 808s, it's not going to like clash with the bass and stuff like that. Then I did a slight reverb, nothing crazy, it's the reverb like this, and a freak convolver just to add some more ambience to the loop. You get me? So it sounds more wide. And yeah, that's what I did for that. Now what we're gonna do next is gonna mix the drums. Everyone's been asking me how to do this. So the first step before you actually mix the drums though is sound selection. So I've gone ahead and chosen the sounds that I like and I'm used to using, so when I mix it, it's gonna be much easier to mix. So I got a clap, got a snare, got hi-hat, I got 808, I got a kick, open hat, and another snare. It's a very simple beat, by the way. It's not gonna be nothing crazy, so it's easier to follow. Because if I had too many instruments and too many, drums and stuff, people might get confused. So just for the sake of learning. We are back in effect. Had some issues with my dumbass SD card, bro. Since it's almost full. But anyways, what I do with my claps to mix it is literally basically just leveling it, basically. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to highlight the section here. Then I'm gonna solo the clap. You can see already over here, the levels are going kind of mad. It's going quite high. So what I do is basically reduce it. Before I even do that, I always like to max the volume out, just so it brings out all the, I don't know how to explain it, but I always max out my claps. And because the snare, this snare is the same thing. I literally just boost it a little bit, so a bit less, and they're on the same channel. So the snare and the clap are on the same channel. So that's how I'm gonna mix it. After leveling it down, what I do is add some EQ. With EQ, what I do is literally just take out all the low end, because you don't need all this low end over here. You don't need it. That's more for the bass and the kick and stuff like that. So you cut that out straight away. What you do is you just scroll on the mouse, scroll this, and then find the points of the clap where it's kind of peaking. So it's around this range over here. So I just like to choose a point over here and then bring that down a little bit so it's less harsh than it is. And I do that probably twice or 3 times. Right there. And right there. There you go. That's my basic EQ for claps. And then what I do after that is add a reverb. Reverb 2. Just enough to hear it, because I always add reverb to my claps, because when you don't, it sounds kind of dry. You get me? It gets kind of dry, so reverb adds a little echoish in a way. It's like a delay in a way. I can't explain it, but it's like a delay in a way, but that's how I think of it anyway. So for the clap, that's all I basically do. I don't do too much. I leave it simple because nothing needs to be complicated. But yeah, next to the hi-hats. You can really see it's too high, the volume's too high. So I reduce it to a level to where I think it sounds well. I think that sounds good, that sounds much better. You know what, I might mix this without the melody, or I might do it with melody. I don't know. But yeah, that's how I level it to this level. And same thing, add a simple EQ. Sweep out all the low end. Look, if you look over here, all this low end adds up to the overall low end of the beat. So imagine, for example, like you got, I can't explain it, bro. I'm trying my best. Okay, I'm trying my best. But yeah, imagine just like sweep that out, because all the low end is going to basically add up at the end. So as it adds up, the final mix is gonna bring all of that out. So to negate that, just sweep out all the low end, basically. Order, steep 8. What I do is, here's a bit harsh as well. As you can see by the colour, quite harsh. What I do is I do this. Just a little bit. Then I get another one. That's what I do for the EQ. I might sweep it a bit more. And then the reverb. I do it default settings, then I reduce it over here. Another thing that you could do to make it interesting, because hi-hats when they're just in the middle, it sounds boring. So what I do is I pan them to left and right. So that's how I do them. I go to hi-hat, Control A, Alt R for randomize, and then go to panning. Bipolar. Bipolar makes it left and right. Because if you don't do bipolar, it's gonna do this, just one side. You don't want that. So yeah, there we go. So I just do a little bit of panning, just a tiny bit. So in the mix, in the end, you hear it. That's basically what I do for the hats. And sometimes I add a bit of delay, actually. I add a bit of delay sometimes. Maybe like 3%, only 3%. Next is the open hat. Open hat, I panned it a little bit because normally this sound that I chose is it kind of just pans to one side. Like that, so hence why I did this. With the hi-hats, you don't want them to be prominent in the mix. You want them to be subtle, because if they're too loud, it takes the overall feel of the beat. Reduce it like this until you get to a level that you like. That's perfect. I like that actually. Then what I do is, like again, a sweep EQ. Take out the low end, because you don't need it. And just dip this a little bit. Then tiny bit of reverb and you should be good to go. Reduce it. Actually, a bit of delay as well. Tiny bit. Just a tiny bit of reverb. You hear that? It's quite subtle in the mix. It's not too prominent. It's not too quiet, but it's just enough to make an effect. And then what I do is after with the snare, that is loud. You hear that? It's loud. Not good. The snare should be a bit louder than the open hat, just around the same level as the clap and the other snare. So around -8.5 is good. And you hear a lot of just low end just there, just kind of like, you know, this sounds muddy. So once again, a little sweep. Once again, to do this, you scroll onto the circle thing, and then it's gonna make it thin like this. Find the points where it's just peaking, and dip out a little bit. Right there, see? Right there. Right there. And right there. That easy, boom. Then, once again, a bit of reverb. Literally, the key is, it's not about using expensive plugins. It's just about utilizing what you have. The way I mix my beats is like, people are like, wow, your mixes are so professional, this and that. But most of it is my sound selection and the way I use my stock instruments. Stock plugins, yeah, to mix. Yeah, that's basically most of my processes, basically. So then sometimes, if I feel like it, add some delay. But just 1 or 2%, nothing crazy. Probably 2%. There we go. Now you see the mix is much more balanced. There's less going on. There's less peaking and stuff like that. So yeah, time for the 808s, boy. You see, when the 808 is pushing through, it's not clashing with the other instruments. That's what you want. Hence why I'm sweeping through the low end of each instrument, because most of them don't need it, but it's just bleeding into it. So if you have all the low end, kind of like piling up and playing with 808, it will sound much more muddy, and then the quality of the whole beat will just go down just by that little issue. So now with the 808, I don't do much of the mix. What I do is I do a sweep, however, the opposite direction. So over here, on this side this time. Sweep all of this because you don't need this. The 808 is on this end. So now, because we sweeped all the other frequencies in the other instruments, we ask for the 808 to breathe. This will also make the 808 sound much more tighter. That's a bit harsh. I like to dip it out sometimes, just dip it a little bit. I do this a little bit just to kind of like make it sound more tighter. But yeah, that's basically what I do. And then what I do is I reduce the level a little bit. So when the kick comes in, it has space to punch through the 808. So it has this illusion where the kick is really just punching through. Yeah. Similar to the 808, I'm gonna do like a minor sweep. That's how I mix each instrument, nothing too crazy because the sounds I'm using are high quality, so I don't need to do the most, you understand? So yeah, that's basically what I do for my mixing process, and let's hear it with the beat. Before I play the beat, I forgot. You know what you can do? This is something that no one taught me. I taught myself this. Remember earlier on, I dipped out the frequency in the sample with this EQ. So what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna right click this EQ, right here, right click it, create automation clip. What they're going to do is like create automation for the track that you EQ'd. So what I'm going to do is press the pencil tool, and then until the bass drops, I'm going to take out the EQ like this. That's what I'm going to do, and then drag this down. So you press Alt and click. You press step, you hold Alt and you click. then you question your point. Yeah, then you just take off step, then you can just drag it about. But yeah, that's what you do, so that before the beat drops, the bass can, of the sample, can just play without any issues. Yo, hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys enjoyed this short mixing tutorial, and if you enjoyed it, like, comment, subscribe. Right now we're at 61 subscribers. Let's make that 100 by the end of June. Let's make that 100 subscribers before the end of June. Share this video with a friend. Any more ideas, DM me on Instagram, Nuvo018, or my socials will be in the description. Tell a friend, like and comment this video. Hope you enjoyed this. More baggers on the way. Just see for me. More to come. Alright, before I even go, just remember that when I did this tutorial, I had the sounds that I liked and of high quality. Just remember that sound selection is very key. Sound selection is absolutely key, because if you choose bad sounds, you won't get a good mix. Choose good sounds and practice your mixes to how you like for it to sound. So yeah, don't get discouraged, keep working hard, you're gonna make it, okay? Listen, if I can do this, you can do it too. Sounds cliche, but yeah, man. Enjoy your day. More videos on the way. More collabs coming soon. Just watch out for the content. Subscribe. Let's get to 100 ASAP. Bah.